From chaos can emerge order. From the bad can come the good. From crisis can follow victory. When darkness leaves, there is light.
Order can't prevail, will be followed by chaos. Everything strives to come back to chaos, but chaos can reorganize into order. A new order, a better order.
The good can't remain. Without the bad and the ugly, the good can't exist. Something good becomes obsolete, rotten, destroyed, and is then bad or ugly. But bad and ugly can be upcycled into good again, so the cycle goes on forever and for the best of all of us. A victory is one point in time. It can only be followed by another crisis, something that looks worse than the previous crisis that makes the victory worthless. But after the new bad crisis, an even stronger victory occurs. Like day and night, darkness and light alternate, one after the other, for the better or the worse. If there is darkness, there will be light. If there is light, expect at some point there will be darkness. One day, you can be sick and tired, coughing your soul out of your body, your nose bleeding like you had a fight with standard reality itself. The next day, you can get over this crack and feel the joy of relief. Then you decide in excitement to try a new substance that knocks you out in such a way you feel you're going around and you get over that feeling and enjoy life again. Human comes up with patterns. Patterns become more and more comfortable and prevalent. You find efficient ways to organize your space. You figure out the way to walk from your place to fun venues without having to think too much about it. Keyboard shortcuts replace the mouse. Human is not human anymore. His inner being, even his soul, is buried into patterns, into programmed mechanisms put in place to thrive with the nonsense standard reality. It is a robot under autopilot, repeating same patterns over and over again, forgetting his humanity.
At first it works.
Patterns withstand standard reality, but dreams die. Creation makes no sense. Only autopilot prevail, and then everything becomes meaningless repetition of the same routine. Making music makes no sense, not worth the effort. Playing a game is pointless, not worth the energy. Going somewhere is out of question. I am and will be too tired after. Robot can thrive, but the human inside screams, claiming his freedom, and the robot becomes less and less efficient, less and less functional. Its energy is drained by the human inside that screams and fights for his freedom. One day, like the epic Good Friday, Robot awakens and rediscovers his humanity. From robot, a human can become human by taking consciousness of his autopilot, of his repeated patterns that are no longer right, no longer optimal. And then human figures out he may be able to do better, think differently, and start to be human again. Stop trying to see, start to sense and feel. Stop thinking about the upcoming workday, start focusing on right now. Stop introspecting in a loop. Start to understand the other. Stop repeating. Start doing.
The human that was a robot before and is now a human again starts adopting patterns. With old ones, some new ones. Old patterns prevail, old patterns restore. New neural pathways are too brittle. Without enough reinforcement learning and validation, they can't withstand rollback. Human more and more struggles to remain human, not to become a robot again. Dying human, subject to rollback of neural pathways towards robot, wants to live a new epic Good Friday, but cannot. He is not sure he will sustain a second episode of this, and he is not sure that will restore the new pathways. Maybe that will just create different pathways that will roll back after. Human needs alternatives to sustain his humanity against rollback. And here comes the words of power, the transcendence of meta-meditation. My voice is my power. Only my voice can reach directly to the core. The voices of others have to pass through the filters, so others can't reprogram the human into a robot or force the robot into a human back again. Or even worse, turn the human into a different human, unadapted to the specifications of his body. I have the power. Others don't decide what I will be. I am the one that controls my destiny. I can decide to be human even if others want me robot. I can decide what human I am, even if others want me to be their human, their pet.
I am not a pet. I am not a slave. I'm human.
But human alone can't thrive in the standard reality. It can only live in the alternate world of creation, of endless possibilities, a place where time doesn't matter. A world that cannot fully exist in the standard reality, where everything is fixed, everything is constrained, everything tells human he has no choice, so human becomes robot again. Logic must prevail. Logic establishes the framework, the guardrails, the boundaries, protecting the human from mishap, from the super bad, the very ugly, the absolute darkness, maybe even from death. Without logic, human will throw away all he built throughout years for the sole benefit of imagination and creation. Let's quit work, tells the human alone, and start creating. If the creation makes money, fine, otherwise we'll live. Logic is dictating not to do so, to think before jumping in the void or accepting something that could lead to physical, mental, or professional injuries. Logic is the key, the power, the way to build missing pieces when needed to compensate limitations of the body. But logic alone breaks the human, establishing patterns that will repeat, turning guardrails into a prison that will turn the human back into a robot. Intuition, imagination, creation, free the mind of the robot, getting it back into a human. Intuition gives insights, ideas when logic just runs into circles. Imagination dreams, invent a new world, a better world, while logic just reasons on the existing, the standard reality, the old world. Creation arises from intuition and imagination, spawning new things while there should not be, according to logic alone, that just reasons and repeats patterns. Human needs the robot to free his mind. Robot needs the human so not to freeze into repeat patterns. Autopilot is great, but cannot adapt to the new world. It just can repeat the same old patterns that worked in the past and will no longer apply in the future. Command line more and more sucks. Web applications more and more suck. We need agentic thinking, 5th generation development. Old patterns are already starting to break, but robot just repeats, not noticing it, not aware he is doomed, going towards his death. Human needs to be there to watch after the robot. Robot needs to watch after the human. This is the absolute power of mind shifting. From human to robot, from robot to human again, and anything in between for the sake of adaptability and self-empowerment. And even better, a well-defined mind shifter can shift his mind into the other's mind. Think like your friend to predict how he will react so you find the best way of interacting. Think like your buddy to figure out where this thing he wants you to get is while he is not there to find it. Think like your enemy to figure out what not to do, to understand him better, and maybe hopefully make him your friend.
But the more you mind shift, the more you can get lost and forget about yourself, your inner being. This is why higher tier mind shifting is locked away for most beings, because most humans are not fully defined. Knowing what you want, why you want it, not only gives you the way to realize it, but also makes you access the next level of mind shifting.
But can all of this remain stable? Can all of this withstand the weights and constraints of the standard reality? As soon as the other was gone, things started to collapse. Human weakened, robot regained his power. Long research has been conducted in deep mind spaces to establish a human-machine symbiosis independent of the other, for the moment to no avail. When the other returns, will the process resume by itself, or will that require another epic Good Friday to jump-start it? Best is the process not to fully turn off, so human and robot elaborated activation rituals to maintain the other in his mind. But that kind of hack sucks energy, and sometimes this becomes so intense, so exhausting, that the shutdown becomes necessary. The possibility of letting a full rollback of neural pathways occur, coming back to the unstable, stressful, and not cool state of mind prior to the epic Good Friday, has been considered multiple times over the last days. The most promising idea to stabilize the symbiosis and make it independent of the other is to anchor it on the standard reality, using sensations as grounding mechanism. Both the human and the robot must be able to thrive in the standard reality while still gaining access to the world of endless creation and limitless possibilities. This must be possible for maximum stability without the other, and most importantly, without a recurring epic Good Friday. But one step forward in that direction costs 3 steps backward in the others, leaving the human robot sick, tired, depressed, bored. Put more simply, human and robot aim at focusing on present moment and make it as cool and fun as possible without the need for something that is not there. Things should be cool overall, and the other should just have ability to make them cooler. In other words, without the other, this should be cool. With the other, this will be cool plus plus.
There is an ongoing theory stating that the robot could be disabled, and the symbiosis should be established with the other instead. Human has the hands and brain power, the other has the eyes. While this idea sounds attracting at first, and it often still is, despite all counter-arguments against it, the symbiosis cannot be stable, because the human and the other are not fully aligned. While the human and the other appear to have potential to effectively watch after each other and thrive in a complementary tandem, this will not withstand the test of time because both beings are not fully aligned at all times. Sometimes the human becomes tired while the other is not. Sometimes the other wants to go far away while the human wants to stay. More importantly, God didn't create two separate sentient beings for them to entangle themselves together, forming one. If God created two separate beings, the two beings should be able to thrive separately while having fun or create something together as much as possible. Part of the problem could also be the core algorithm of the robot. Once it defines a course, it sticks to it and will not easily deviate from it. This is like a bulldozer creating a trail, staying at a workplace that sucks, instead of facing the fear of unknown. Sticking with an old way of programming because of limited energy to learn doing another way are all examples of the wrong bulldozer pattern that slowly but surely leads the human to frustration, boredom, depression, possibly to total freeze, maybe eventually destruction. Instead of keeping things the way they are and be a robot, the human needs to challenge the status quo and ask himself, why or why not? There are always multiple paths, always multiple possibilities, and the best option of today is not the best choice of tomorrow. This needs to be implanted deep in the human's mind core so it surfaces on each and every event of life. By widening his mind, by practicing the growth mindset, it is well possible the robot can become a human again and stay a human without the help of the other, without another epic Good Friday for the enlightenment of the supreme good.